Sport.
Watch the rain. Well, that's managed to thread its way through rather nicely.
It's Monday, the 2nd of September. You're watching Sky Sport News Midday. Coming up in your bulletin at noon. Gold rush. More success on the water for New Zealand rowers at the World Champs. The Black Caps face a fired-up Sri Lanka in the opening T20 clash. And tough lessons as the Tall Blacks tip off their Basketball World Cup campaign with a loss to Brazil. Plus, a major upset at the US Open. All that and more on Sky Sport News. Hello and welcome to our very first midday edition of Sky Sport News. I'm Bernadine Oliver-Kerby. And we start on a high with the New Zealand women's 8 creating history at the Rowing World Champs, winning gold for the very first time. They powered past Australia for a stunning victory which books them a spot in next year's Olympics. Olivia Lowe and Brooke Donoghue were also crowned world champions in the women's pair, while Emma Twigg won silver in the singles scull final. But it wasn't such a memorable day for the men's 8 who failed to qualify for Tokyo after a disappointing race. Here's all the action from on the water in Austria.
The New Zealanders have got it.
The fastest serve, 118.
Brilliant stuff. Kiwi driver Scott Dixon's hopes of defending his IndyCar title are all but over. Dixon was leading the race in Portland before it all went wrong thanks to a flat battery.
Gallen Sharks captain, Paul Gallen's dream of a fairy tale ending in Cronulla after the Raiders nailed a field goal in extra time, beating them 15-14. Bernie.
Thanks so much, Ravinda. Let's now see how the NRL ladder is shaping up, shall we? Well, the Storm, Roosters and Raiders make up the top 3 spots on the ladder. Melbourne Storm are now officially minor premiers for the 4th time in the club's history. Just look at that. Well, the Rabbitohs win over the Warriors means they move 5th, and the Eels, Broncos and Sharks lock up the rest of the top 8. At the other end, dare we say it, the Titans are this year's wooden spooners, 2 spots ahead of them, the mighty New Zealand Warriors, after another disappointing season. Let's take a look at the weather that's going to affect the sporting world. And first up, let's take a look at how it's shaping up in New York for the US Open. Looking gorgeous. A high of 30 degrees expected on Wednesday. You'd argue, wouldn't you, that it's perhaps going to get a little bit hotter on centre court. Looking ahead also to some cricket, Windies versus India. A little bit of precipitation there, fair to say. So if you've bought a ticket on holiday, you won't be flashed. Duckworth-Lewis system might be getting a bit of a trot out during the week. And finally, let's have a look at the T20 in Sri Lanka. 29 degrees expected, partly cloudy for that T20 match. Plenty of live sport here on Sky at the moment. The final round of the LPGA Tour's Portland Classic is underway. Check out all of the action on Sky Sport 6, Channel 56. Motorsport fans can get their fix over on Sky Sport 5, Channel 55, with the Southern 500 in the NASCAR Cup Series. And over on Sky Sport 7, Channel 57, you can catch Major League Soccer action, Seattle against Los Angeles. Still ahead on Sky Sport News, we'll recap our top stories, including the New Zealand women's 8 historic gold at the World Champs in Austria. Plus, we'll bring you the latest stories making international news, including an update from the second test between the Windies and India at Kingston. A quick look at your top stories on Sky Sport News this morning. New Zealand has topped the medal table at the Rowing World Champs in Austria as the women's 8 win gold for the first time in history. The Black Caps have beaten Sri Lanka by 5 wickets in the first of 3 T20 matches. And the Tall Blacks have lost to Brazil in their opening game of the Basketball World Cup. Let's take a look at our international headlines now. And India are in complete control on day 3 of the second test against the Windies at Kingston. Jasprit Bumrah picked up a hat-trick. As Wild will be on Sky Sport News later this evening from 7 p.m. And with a preview of tonight's show, here's Anna Wilcox. Anna, what's happening on the show?
Thank you. Well, Andrew Mulligan and James McConey will be your hosts tonight, and hopefully they'll be doing what they do best, which is reading the sports news and getting a few laughs from you at home. We hear from the All Blacks and see how they're gearing up for this weekend's showdown against Tonga in the Tron. More from the US Open as we get into the business end of the tournament. Plus, all the highlights from today's Winter Games. The 4-star North Face Frontier at Remarkables is on today. And will the wildcard Finn Billis, who won yesterday at the 2-star, be able to do the same again today? For all that and more, tune in tonight at 7 p.m. on Prime and Sky Sports News.
Well, we will be watching indeed. Thank you for that. Now, you can have your say. This is where you get to play a bit of a part for us here on Sky Sport News. You can contribute. We'll be asking you each week a different question. And today we want to know, will the All Blacks complete a three-peat and win the Rugby World Cup in Japan? So let us know what you think by using hashtag ABWin or hashtag ABLose. Also, check us out on Twitter and Instagram. At Sky Sport are the handles for both, and on our Facebook page, search Sky Sport NZ. So let's have a look and see what our online poll is saying right at the moment. And they're the numbers we quite like seeing, isn't it? 80% saying yes, we're going to do the business. 20% maybe not so confident. Join us tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when Goran, Kate, Sam and our guests bring you our morning edition of Sky Sport News. But do stick around as we cross to our colleagues at B Sky B in the UK and regular programming on Prime. Good afternoon.